Coming up on this edition of Falmouth in Focus, we take a look at the highlights from this year's Holidays by the Sea weekend. We learn about the Calmer Choice program and its impact on Falmouth students. We meet some of the individuals involved in a student mentor program and attend a Shop Local event at the Falmouth's Museums on the Green. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm Liz Lerner, the Membership and Outreach Coordinator for FCTV. This episode, we start with history-making Falmouth High School football team. FCTV had a chance to speak with the coach and some of the players about their championship season.
So, I was very pleased with our performance in the Super Bowl. I really think that we played as good of a team as we had played all season, which is what it should be like when you get to Gillette. I don't think that was the case in every game that was played that day, but I think we really truly played as good of a football team as we'd played all season, and it really took our best effort. I've had a chance to kind of watch the film a few times, and I'm really, really proud of how our kids competed. Marblehead was a really tough opponent. We had to prepare for quite a few different things that they do, especially offensively, and we kind of took their base stuff away. And we forced them to kind of get into, some things that they hadn't necessarily been doing all year. That's kind of been our MO too. We've got teams out of their comfort zone. Nobody's been able to run the ball on us all year, and that was the case again at Gillette. And we kind of made them one-dimensional.
Well, during the game we had it was just physical, and our whole front line, they didn't stop pushing throughout the whole game. They gave it 100. Our QB, Nick, did a hell of a job throwing the ball, pitching the ball, handing the ball off, and having his reads. Our defense had a great game. We held them to a little over 60 yards until the third quarter. We just had an overall good game. We came out firing, and everyone was pumped up throughout the whole game.
It's the chemistry. I've been playing with these guys for 4+ years now, and I've known a lot of them since childhood, and it's just it makes it easy. It makes it easy to come play with them every day.
Feels amazing. It's just it's coming up since either 8th grade to senior year. It's just an amazing feeling, we've worked so hard since that, and we always knew that we could accomplish this, and we came out and did what we said.
I look at that first Sharon game that I coached in my first season when these kids were sophomores, and you're watching them at Gillette Stadium, and it's a lot of the same kids, but we look a lot different. We're bigger, we're stronger, we're tougher, we're faster, we're smarter, and we're just playing the game at a much higher level. So, it took a lot of work. These kids put a lot of time in. I think they really care about football. With these guys, they had a goal that they were going to get there. We never really talked about it, but I know that they did, We never talked about it as a group. We just talked about the opponent we were playing that week. But, these kids wanted to get there, and they accomplished what they set out to accomplish, and that's not easy to do. So.
And now at this time, MIA Associate Director Richard Pearson will present the Division IIA State Championship Trophy.
Thank you to FCTV's Ryan Weber for bringing us those interviews. Also regarding Falmouth schools, Calmer Choice, a program based on the Cape that's committed to teaching young people how to effectively and safely manage stress and resolve conflict, is currently in Falmouth schools. Representatives from the organization recently presented at a forum at the Unitarian Universalist Church in Falmouth so the community could learn a little more about what they do.
My name is Fiona Jensen, and I am the founder and executive director of an organization on Cape Cod called Calmer Choice. We're an organization that's provides mindful awareness training in schools, and this year the town actually has us in all 4 of their elementary schools, grades 3 and 4. Our focus is really to teach children how to self-regulate.
Back 10 or 12 years ago, when she was thinking about this, the kids in the Barnstable schools were really in trouble. There were a number of them who were committing suicide. There were some murders, there were drugs, and she was just absolutely devastated. She was acting on that devastation.
It's incredibly difficult to watch your kid struggle through things, and all I wanted to do was figure out how I could alleviate some of the suffering that these kids were going through. And part of what I was seeing was this constant high level of stress and anxiety.
I worked as an educator and saw the stress in children and wanted to bring mindfulness to schools.
We need our amygdala. It keeps us safe. It's the fight, flight, or freeze. Your body knows what to do. You are not thinking from your prefrontal cortex, which is where you do all your critical thinking and make good decisions. So you get angry, you're anxious, and your amygdala fires up.
We basically go right into the schools, so our program is a 20-minute, twice-a-week program where we're actually in the school with teachers and teaching. We have 16 different lessons that we teach right in the schools to the kids, but also to the teachers.
We're currently Cape-wide. Falmouth is obviously very new to us due to a large grant that the Falmouth community wrote, the Falmouth school system. We ultimately would love to saturate the Cape and expand grade by grade and town by town.
We've provided programming now from Falmouth through Provincetown. We've worked with over 13,000 children on the Cape.
So that's what happens when a school begins to own it.
Thank you to FCTV's Anthony Sedera for that piece. Another program that benefits students was featured recently. There was a big turnout for the premiere of Project Impact, a photo exhibit featuring mentorship through Falmouth volunteers in public schools. Let's take a look.
Falmouth Volunteer in Public Schools, known as VIPS, partnered with Vagabond View Photography for the first ever Project Impact photo exhibit.
We're really excited about this event tonight. The idea was to showcase mentoring through photographs because, as we all know, pictures tell 1,000 words and can speak much more about the closeness of the relationships of the mentor and the mentee and that sort of special bond that they share through the lens of a talented photographer like Lee Geisiger, who is herself a mentor, so totally understands the whole idea.
Geisiger, who is also photographer and co-owner of Vagabond View Photography, was approached by Crego and came up with the idea of capturing the impact of mentoring through photographs.
And I happened to run into Tracy Crego, who I know well, at a Chamber of Commerce event while I was mulling this over. And as soon as I took one look at her, I said, mentors. Let's do something about the kids and their mentors. So we started baking it in April. Did a series of sessions in the spring and then finished up in the fall, and collectively we have Project Impact.
Geisiger describes the experience of mentoring as life-changing and talks about her first experience as a mentor.
Terrified, especially a high school student. Well, the first meeting, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. She has no idea. There's a nervousness to it, and it took less than a couple of weeks of a rhythm. You meet once a week for about 45 minutes to an hour, and you can meet on the school grounds. You can meet in the school. We had different meeting places. But the terrifying part came into the fear of the unknown, and I kept thinking, wow, if I'm afraid, can you imagine the uncertainty? But she was more of, this was something that she thought would work, and we clicked. And not all of the partnerships do, but the ones that do, you're going to see there are some here that have been, there's a junior in high school, he's been with his mentor since 3rd grade. Yeah. And there's several that I can see staying together for a few more years. So that is somebody's doing something right if the student wants to keep coming back to the same mentor, because it's always up to the student. Well, the experience is, without being dramatic, life-changing. The fact that you can impact a child in a positive way, and the fact that that child impacts you. It's not a one-way relationship with mentors. It can be life-changing, and it can be insightful into your own personality and how you can affect and positively affect the life of a child.
Crego stresses anyone can be a mentor and make a difference in a child's life.
Pretty much anyone who has that hour a week to give to a student, it's really about becoming a friend and listening and just understanding a little bit about the child and also giving a little bit of themselves. It's about sharing, and what we always say to people is if you can be a good friend to someone, you'll be a great mentor.
Falmouth Volunteer in Public Schools is a nonprofit organization who trains volunteers to work with students and teachers.
The Project Impact exhibit will run through the end of December. If you're looking to get involved in the Falmouth VIPS mentoring program, you can email them at vips@falmouth.k12.ma.us or call the VIPS office at 508-548-1621. It's time now for Three Things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
On Monday, December 5th, the Selectmen discussed many things on their agenda, including a presentation given by 7 Point of Massachusetts regarding medical marijuana dispensaries in Falmouth. Representatives described in detail what the medical dispensary would involve as far as who is eligible for a medical license, how one obtains a license to buy medical marijuana, and the security involved with such a business.
If I were a patient that needed a particular kind of cannabis, and I thought it would be most convenient for me to come to Falmouth rather than another dispensary, which is just over the few miles away in Bourne or in Mashpee, for example. How does that work? Do you order in other words, is it like a prescription where you would order exactly what I would need?
No, so in Massachusetts, unlike in Illinois, it's a vertically integrated industry. So we will mostly be growing and producing the products that we sell. We would be able to get some small percentage of products from other ones if we needed that. But we would manufacture a full line of products.
On a related subject, Senator DiMacedo and Police Chief Edward Dunn expressed concerns over the local initiative on recreational marijuana use in Falmouth. Much of this discussion surrounded questions about the medical marijuana dispensaries in town, how they would affect legalized recreational use, and whether or not the selectmen want to move forward with a town-wide referendum on the issue.
This is a much different model. The retail model is a very different model than the medical marijuana issue. So as I'm saying, I'm not here to speak to you in regards to what they're trying to accomplish. What I am is in regards to the retail. That's a decision that the town of Falmouth has to make, and every other community has to decide for themselves. Do they want to do this in their community? Now, what I understand is people generally like this. However, you will get in not my backyard though, and so that's going to be a challenge that you all have to figure out. This is deciding. There may be people that are very comfortable with having it downtown, downtown Falmouth. There are people that are not. That's a decision that you have to make, and ultimately, the best part for you is you don't have to make that. It's the voters that have to make that decision. If you decide as a board you want to put it on the ballot, ask them, the voters, to opt out.
It's actually an interesting vote that happened that the medical marijuana did pass in Falmouth, but the retail marijuana did not pass in Falmouth, which leads me to believe the appropriate thing to do is to ask the town, well, we're going to ask the question again because that's what the law says, but to, in May, put a referendum question on saying, all right, we have to make a decision as to whether we really do want retail stores in Falmouth or not.
Police Chief Dunn also gave his quarterly report to the selectmen. The chief reported about staffing levels at the department fluctuating, details about drug-related crimes, overdoses, and an increase on cocaine usage in town. The report went on to inform the selectmen about the continuation of the Citizens Police Academy, extended hours at the Central Records Office, and a positive report about the latest main events in Falmouth having no major issues surrounding them, such as the road race and the Christmas parade.
Our past events, just the Falmouth Road Race, again, another successful event, no issues. Cape Cod Marathon, again, another successful event, no issues. And, of course, our Christmas parade and lighting of the green. It was wonderful. A lot of people out there. And part of that, too, was great that the Clippers were able to return home at the same time that downtown was packed with people, so they really had a great reception.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out FCTV's website and click on the Government Channel 15 link at fctv.org. Once a month, we get to feature a local fishing report from Ryan Collins of My Fishing Cape Cod. Here's his take on where to go to reel in some fish.
Hello, Falmouth Community Television viewers.
Ryan here from myfishingcapecod.com with you for a December fishing report. And that has been the hot lure right there. A 1-ounce white bucktail jig with a 6-inch white curly tail grub. And as you can see, I've been using the Hobie kayak and exploring some pretty muddy backwater, coffee-colored water estuaries. And this has been where I've been finding fish. And I know there's holdovers on the Upper Cape, on the Mid Cape, and on the Lower Cape. So if you get out there and do some exploring, you can actually catch stripers right now during December. The technique I'm using in this clip is trolling the white bucktail jig about 30 feet behind the kayak. And I'm probably moving forward at around 3.5 or so miles per hour, maybe even a little bit quicker. See, right now I have a small fish on, but the bass, when I've found them, have been very aggressive. They're not sluggish. I even saw fish breaking the surface on a trip earlier this month. So that's been the average fish. Nice, bright, and healthy. Now the freshwater scene has also been very good. And this is what most guys, most fisher women are doing right now. They've put the saltwater gear away for the year and they're focusing on trout, largemouths. And right now we're watching My Fishing Cape Cod intern and Brewster native Andrew Burke with a really nice tiger trout. And he caught this fish by targeting ponds down Cape that had herring trapped in the pond. And the fish have been cornering these herring schools against the banks. So I wish you all the best. I hope you have a terrific holiday season. And I'll speak with you in the next fishing report. Ryan Collins from My Fishing Cape Cod. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you to Ryan for that great information. We're going to take a quick break to learn about an adoptable dog from Friends of Falmouth Dogs. But when we come back, we'll check out all of the highlights from the Falmouth Chamber's annual Holidays by the Sea weekend, visit a fun event at Falmouth Museums on the Green, and learn some tips for healthy eating during the holidays. Stay with us.
Jack is an 11-year-old wire-haired Jack Russell Terrier. True to his breed, Jack is intelligent, spirited, and energetic. He's full of personality and very amusing. He can jump several feet into the air when he's excited. Jack is affectionate and enjoys the company of people. Because he has cataracts, he would be best placed in a quiet adult home. He's hardy and enjoys long walks, even in the cold weather. When he has indoor playtime, he can be found standing inside a large toy box looking for that special something. For more information about Jack, please visit friendsofFalmouthDogs.org.
Welcome back. Holidays by the Sea is a weekend that many residents and visitors look forward to each year. Here are some of the highlights from the Jingle Jog, Santa's arrival by boat, the lighting of the village green, holiday stroll, and of course, the Falmouth Christmas Parade.
1, 2, 3, go! Go get it, Ryan! Go!
You can catch the Christmas parade in its entirety on Public Channel 13. Just check out our website, fctv.org, for runtimes. The Falmouth Museums on the Green recently held a holiday pop-up boutique where it featured local makers displaying their goods.
Tonight we're having a pop-up boutique, and it's featuring artists, artisans, small business owners, farmers from all over Cape Cod. Well, we wanted to provide a forum for these folks because it is really hard to make a living on Cape Cod during the off-season, and a lot of these markets are only available in the summer, so we wanted to do something in the wintertime, and we thought holiday local shopping would be a nice tie-in.
Hi, my name is Vinny. I'm with a company called Cabocado. We make made-in-USA souvenir items for the Cape and Islands, including Puerto Rico. Most of the items I have here are trying to elevate the souvenir item to a slightly more quality-based item. So from our lowest price point of koozies to our higher price point of pillows. And somewhere in between we have tote bags and calendars and wine totes.
Hi, I'm Rachel Lavinia, and I have Red Buzz Honey here. These are my bees that I keep in East Sandwich, and this is the fall harvest. We have some beeswax. These are 1 ounce cubes of beeswax, and beeswax, besides smelling great and looking nice, it's great for all kinds of things in the house. Sticky windows, sticky doors, zippers that don't glide well. And this is the pint-sized honey. I thought it would make a really nice hostess gift, an alternative to wine.
Cape Cloth is based in Dennis. It's a socially conscious clothing company that gives back $1 of every purchase to Capabilities, and it collaborates with other local businesses whenever possible to keep as much money on Cape Cod. So Kaleidoscope Imprints in Hyannis does all the printing. Cape Cod Embroidery in Harwich does all the embroidery. And I'm based in Dennis, and came out to Falmouth tonight to support the museum on the Green. So I started off with hats and have since expanded to t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, some of the softest sweatshirts that you've ever felt, winter hats, some dog accessories, some baby onesies, basically trying to cover your entire family in really, really comfortable, socially conscious clothing.
We came here tonight to bring some local fun. We have a few wines for everyone to taste and enjoy and just have some good times. We've been around since 1994, but we actually had to move locations. We're now on 4 Oxbow, right in Falmouth, and we've been there this is our first season open for tastings, and it was very successful. It was busy. We wanted to be more part of the community. This is a great event. I know it's the first year, but I feel it's going to be successful going forward, and I want to be a part of it.
Sarah Murphy of Museums on the Green hopes to host another holiday pop-up again next year. Registered dietitian, nutritionist, and yoga instructor Dina Irwin sat down with us recently at the Community Health Center of Cape Cod and Mashpee to discuss some tips she has about eating healthy during the holiday season.
It is so challenging for people this time of year. It's hard for them to make healthy choices. There's so much going on. There's parties, there's food everywhere in the office. People are bringing in cookies, and it's really hard. And at the same time, people are getting really busy. They're stressed out. They don't have a lot of time to prepare and plan. So it's really challenging. A couple of the things that I like to do is to have people just take some time to plan ahead a little bit. So, for example, I make up like these little snack packs. So when you are busy, you're out shopping, you have something, I make up little bags with nuts, dried fruit, coconut, ginger, pumpkin seeds. Great to go on the go for snacks. Fruit is always a good choice. And just by planning ahead a little bit, you have some things available. One of the things that's really helpful around the holidays is to remember to eat mindfully and to indulge some of those cravings that people have in a really mindful way. There's so much food available, and special foods that you find around the holidays that it's okay to eat and enjoy. the thing is, make sure that you're truly enjoying it. For example, if you're eating a piece of apple pie on Christmas, make sure that you're enjoying every single bite that you're eating with all of your senses. Take a moment to look at the pie, smell the pie. How does it feel in your mouth? Is there texture? Are there nuts on it? Is it crunchy? And truly savor every bite and enjoy it. And you might find that you actually only need a small piece of pie enjoying it. I think the most important thing is to think about vegetables and not necessarily trying to streamline every single recipe that you have, because some of the holiday recipes, they require a certain amount of fat. Like I'm going to have potato latkes on Hanukkah, and you have to fry those in oil or else the whole meaning of it is gone. However, with my potato latke dinner, I'm going to make a big salad, a big pan of roasted vegetables. So I think to really balance things out and fill up on the good healthy veggies is a good way to do it.
Thank you to Dina for her time on that piece. We're going to take a quick break to bring you some holiday greetings recorded by Pat Thatcher, an FCTV member and secretary on our board of directors. We'll be back with Troy's Take right after this.
The Aleppo clowns say, Merry Christmas!
And a Happy New Year!
Happy holidays from Laker Realtors Donahue Partners!
Happy holidays from Revolution All-Stars!
Happy holiday from People for Cats! Dreams do come true! Happy holidays. Hi, I'm Jody from Gosnold, and we're delighted to be here today.
Promoting prevention.
Celebrating recovery. Reuniting families.
Welcome back. Troy has a special take for us this episode that he recorded at the White House with Terry Zoopla, a Falmouthite and speechwriter for President Barack Obama.
Thanks, Liz. This is a special on-location version of Troy's Take for Falmouth in Focus. I'm standing here on Pennsylvania Avenue, and you can actually see the White House over my left shoulder. I'm here because the White House, the West Wing, has a special Falmouth connection. One of the president's top speechwriters grew up in Falmouth. His family still lives here. His mom and dad, Stosh and Peggy Zoopla, are probably watching this show right now from their home in East Falmouth. So we came down here to Washington to explore this Falmouth connection to the West Wing and have a special treat for you. So let's go into the West Wing and meet the presidential speechwriter, Terry Zoopla. This is a special on-location version of Troy's Take for Falmouth in Focus, and I'm here at the press briefing room at the White House with Falmouth resident Terry Zoopla, who is a speechwriter for President Obama. So Terry, what does it mean now for you? You're ending your 8-year service to the president here, and you've been with the administration the whole time, and so, you know, the folks back in Falmouth, what has this service meant to you, and what does it mean to you to be from Falmouth?
It's been the best experience of my professional life. I've wanted to be a speechwriter since I was in college, and it took me a long time to get here, but I was able to start in early '09 and was able to do it for 8 years. Been able to travel around the world with the president, been able to write about issues that affect millions of Americans and people around the world. It's been an incredible honor.
You rode here to the West Wing, literally, and we just took a tour, and we left a book for
Sure.
Terry here of Falmouth stories. But your journey here began even before that. You worked for the Department of Defense and the Secretary of Defense, and so your trail to working here in the West Wing was one of hard work and dedication, and for those young people that may be inspired to write speeches or to work for the federal government or even for a president, what advice would you give them?
I would say stick at it. It takes a long time. It took me a long time to get here. Like I said, I wanted to, in college, it took me 16 years from the time that I wanted to do this until the time that I got to do it. Just keep at it, study, and study some more.
So what message would you like to send? Look right in the camera and talk to your fans and your Falmouth, and this is your opportunity to wish holiday wishes to the people back in Falmouth.
Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Thinking of all of you, and I'll be up there myself soon, and hopefully get to see some of you.
That is cool. All right, so here we are from the press briefing room in the West Wing with Falmouth resident Terry Zoopla. Amazing opportunities here, and if you work hard and study hard, never knows where you can go. I'm Falmouth Enterprise columnist Troy Clarkson, and that's my take. Back to you, Liz.
Thank you, Troy. We're always thrilled to see residents use their smartphones to record images around town, just like Troy did, and we want your input too. Become a part of Falmouth in Focus and send your photos and videos to liz@fctv.org, or use the hashtag MyFalmouth and Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. Before we end the show, we wanted to welcome the public to our upcoming holiday party and silent auction, which will take place on Tuesday, December 20th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Casey's Barn Grill at the Holiday Inn on Jones Road in Falmouth. It's sure to be a fun night with music and great silent auction items. We hope to see you there. We're going to end this episode with more video from the Holidays by the Sea weekend. Thank you to our hardworking member volunteers for their help recording the footage, and thank you for joining us for this episode of Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time for a special Year in Review episode.